3, 2, 1. Welcome.
Okay.
What day it is? What day it is?
I don't know what day it is.
What day it is? It's hump day.
Oh, it is. It is. Always. That means we're on the, hey, weekend's coming up.
Midweek, unless you're Caleb, midweek's Tuesday.
What world does Caleb live in?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
They say there could be evidence of UFOs. We may have one right here.
Yeah, he came in bragging about the first one to get anything in for the football magazine. I'm like, yeah, you had the two easiest.
You know what? Next time I'll let him track the golf for 2 days.
Welcome to Slightly Off Target on this Wednesday. Bo Wilson alongside Jeff Hart and our producer, as always, Seth Chapman. What's up, fellas?
Not much.
We're good. Caleb gets the first off target.
Does he?
He is way off target coming in here and bragging about getting something done. Because what does he do?
Rehash from last year.
Pretty much. I mean, he does about, if you add up all of his airtime for traffic, it's, like 17.3 seconds for 4 hours. For 4 hours.
Easy. I did that. That's not an easy job.
I'm sorry. 28.
I'll take up for you this one, Caleb.
28.7 on that. Okay. And then he produces the Martha Zoller show. So he's got all of this time in between.
He's a bigwig here.
Well, he is, but he's got all this time. Meanwhile, me and you were having to do all the dirty work.
The dirty work.
The dirty work.
The dirty work.
I haven't gotten anything done on the football magazine because there's still other sports going on.
Well, it's just one.
Well, that's true. The golf did finish. We had some good finishes.
Do you
for the
feel
golf.
a sense of accomplishment?
I do. Me personally?
Yes, you.
Just for getting all that done?
Right.
Yes, absolutely.
Good.
Yeah, I had to take 6 Advil for the arthritis. It hit me afterwards.
Good. I'm glad you take
I-
my direction well.
I think you're off target and relishing in my pain, Bo. Yeah.
I'm not relishing.
Oh, yes, you're
I don't
smiling.
like relish. Just prefer mustard and ketchup. A little slaw
Okay.
on the hot dog.
You're on target with that.
Yes, sir.
I know you're on target
I'm on
with that.
target with
Absolutely.
that. All right, so even though sports winding down, high school sports, anyway, a lot of news out there in the sporting world.
Tons of stuff.
We've had Benji Wood take a dive south. Not too far.
Well, not too far.
But heading down to Buford to take over the boys basketball program there. We're going to talk about that later on. And a big move there, which we kind of maybe thought it was coming, but, it happened.
Well, you hear things, but me and you are pretty much until I see it happen.
That's right.
I don't, because we get 6 rumors a day.
Yes.
I mean, that would keep us busy. We just reported on the rumors. It'd be about every 30. It's just our 30-minute update on rumors.
Yes.
We'd have a different one just about every time.
Uh-huh.
So, but
some
we
are
just
more
wait.
detailed than others.
That's true.
Yeah.
Boy, the one you got was wildly specific.
Wildly specific.
So,
and let's just say I stepped off in it.
And it was 50%.
Yeah.
It was only 50%. But,
got to track them down anyway.
We do. I mean, because that's what we do.
You never know.
We don't like to upset anybody, but, I think our purpose is we want to squash the rumor.
That's right.
We're not trying to create it, but we want to, we'll go, not so sure on that one. Okay, I'll just make a quick inquiry just to confirm that one's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And usually about 90% of the time, that turns out to be the case.
Is it on target or off target?
It's usually off target.
That's right.
Like, we're not even talking, it's like, that's an innocent bystander 3 miles away gets hit. That's how off target most of them are.
But we have to dig anyway. And
Right.
sometimes it doesn't make folks happy. But
No, and we don't like, I don't really relish going back to the relish. It always comes back to the relish.
Back on the relish.
Comes back to relish. That might be the theme today.
It could be.
Could be.
Okay.
Don't really relish the fact of having to do these kinds of things because, people can send you anything and think they can get you to just bite.
Oh, yeah.
And no matter how ridiculous it sounds, they're going to check on this. And, and again, it doesn't make us look great all the time. But, some of these things you could see them happening, so you kind of have to check on them.
Well, that's
But the Benji Wood thing, I think it's a great move. I mean, we'll get to that. I think that's a great move. And
well, let's get to our segment this week of our on-target, off-target segment.
we're jumping right in on that.
And we're gonna jump.
Let's
man.
go.
We're gonna go and jump all over it this week.
Got a parachute. Do we need a parachute for this?
Do we need a parachute? We could possibly need a parachute
We
for
might.
it. But the first one we're going to throw out there, the new NBA play-in game, which if you go online to check it out, you're going to see where it's just this year only. But is it?
What's the point of changing any sports playoff the system for 1 year?
So it was.
I mean, what's the point? I think it's just
money.
off target.
It's money.
Off target just for the change.
Okay.
Now, how they do this? I mean, if the Lakers lose and don't get into the playoffs, then it's totally on target.
Well, I hope they lose. Lakers losing would be so awesome.
Oh, it's
Sorry about
always-
that, guys.
That's okay.
Were you off target today?
A little, just slight technical issue, but show goes on. Just
Well,
pause
at
for a
least we
moment.
caught it before. We're like 20 minutes into this. Like, hey, where'd y'all go?
Now this new playing game is bringing up some tournament feel about it. Of course, especially the Boston coach Brad Stevens, who coached
In the NCAA.
Butler
Right.
in back-to-back NCAA championships, and now is a coach of the Celtics, and he's saying it feels like the tournament, March Madness.
Right. Well, how do you feel? So the way I understand it is 7 and the top 6 are in. 7 and 8 play each other, and the winner of that then plays the 8 and 9 to get for the final 2 spots.
No, I thought it was the 2 losers would play for the 9th spot, right?
Very confusing. Well, I don't understand.
The
Why
winner
don't they just go
advances.
7-10, 8-9, take the 2 winners, and there you go.
I don't know. I don't run the NBA.
I don't understand. It makes no real sense to me, just the whole thing. Personally, they could probably just knock the NBA playoffs down to like 4 teams for conference because really,
Well, I mean,
there's
they
not a
could.
whole lot of teams that really have a shot.
I think the NBA is onto something here
You do.
with their
Okay,
tournament.
so you think it's on target.
I think it's somewhat on target.
Okay.
And now all the NBA purists out there, or the NBA, fans, may not agree with that because they might like the 5-game series or the 7-game series.
Right.
For that. But
I mean,
but
these are like 1-game play-ins.
that's the way I think a tournament should be. Now I know baseball's different, so I'm not even putting baseball in the same
baseball is just a
world
complete,
of-
and hockey's different too.
postseason.
I think hockey and baseball are the two sports I think are best suited for, say, a series.
Yeah.
Okay. Hockey, then, it might be even too long. I mean, I don't know that every series needs to be 7 games in hockey. I mean, I think you could get away with 5
Yeah.
in the early rounds.
I think, if you're going to play what they call the playoffs in the NBA, not a tournament, obviously, if they're doing the series, I like the tournament feel.
I do, too. I think the question is, in pros, is one and done appropriate? The NFL does that.
Mm-hmm.
But
Why is it not appropriate?
I don't know. For NBA basketball, I mean,
You're
the
being
top
asked
4,
to
the
be
top
good.
4 teams are all pretty comparable. I think in the top 4 seeds in the conference, I think any of them probably could beat any of them on any given night. And you want to, you guys are playing for an NBA title and the money. You want to put it on 1 game.
Yeah.
1 game.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think basketball is a tournament sport. But I think the NBA, maybe a 3-game series.
Maybe a 3.
Yeah, 7's too long.
7's way too long because, 4-game sweep.
How interesting would that have been, a 3-game series? Let's go back to the Jordan years where they lost game 1 several times.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Boy, the pressure of that on the
Oh, yeah.
Bulls. That
That's
would
what
have
I'm
been
talking
fun.
about.
That would have been fun. But
Right.
7, the Bulls lose the first one, you go,
Yeah, well, you give
okay,
Jordan
so
to
it's
have a
going
bad
to be
game.
4-1, 4-2
Right.
instead of a 4-0 sweep. But with a 3-game series, you drop that 1st one. I mean, you're
Yeah.
do or die
Yeah.
at that point. I think 3 would be good.
So you like 3?
I think 3 would be
I don't
good.
like 7.
I don't like 7. I thought it was too long. Again, I think the hockey 7 is too long, except for maybe the Stanley Cup, the finals. I think 5 would be more than enough.
I think
Of course,
NBA,
the owners are not going to do that.
I think the NBA is onto something with this play game, but maybe it morphs into play in first round.
Right. Right. So they say it's 1 year.
Yeah.
But you get the sense, you think that if this drums up some interest, you think this could be. Now, LeBron is not going to be happy about that.
Well, no.
And
he's
everything
not happy
runs
about
through,
anything.
Well, everything runs through LeBron, apparently,
sure.
right?
Sure. Yeah, LeBron. Anyway.
Who are they playing?
I'm not sure.
Okay. ABL.
There you go.
Anybody but the Lakers.
Anybody but the Lakers.
Anybody but the Lakers.
So if you go.
I'd root for Tennessee and Florida over the Lakers.
If you go. No.
Not sure on that one.
Not sure on that one.
Okay, well, I would.
Yeah.
That's okay.
So if you go playing game first round, I mean, how many times have we seen first round, one playing the 9 seed or the 8 seed?
I mean, it's only happened once or twice.
Come on. I mean,
it just doesn't happen enough to warrant all this.
Inevitable over with.
Right. That's what I'm saying. If you went 4, I think 4 top 4 teams playing a 3 or maybe 5-game series, I think would be really exciting for the NBA because you lose one, I mean, your back is against the wall. 7-game series, I mean, it's kind of like, okay, we're going to be playing in 2 weeks, so that don't matter.
Yeah. We're going to play a game, take a day off, play a game, take a day off, play a game.
It takes 2 weeks to run round.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I mean, it's just too long.
So I think the NBA is somewhat on target with the play-in games. I wish they would expand that to the first round. That way you can get play-in first round kind of over with, and you're going to have a massive amount of excitement with the now playoff / tournament feel.
Look, I think if they did make it feel more like the NCAA tournament, I think that people would jump to go watch the
that'd
NBA
be cool.
playoffs. I think that would. If I knew
have different sites.
If it was like Lakers Clippers, I think Clippers are really good.
Yeah.
The Lakers Clippers 1 game.
Yeah.
I mean, the entire city of Los Angeles and a few others would be watching that. I mean, I think that would be interesting.
Well,
I mean,
if they did that, but the NCAA tournament, where they had the Southeast regional, the West regional, the East regional.
Right. I think that would be good. I mean, you're talking about seeding the NBA, which means everybody just plays.
Everybody just plays.
Plays, and then you seed.
Then you got an NBA champion.
Bo, you know what? I'm pinning a letter.
Yeah.
Soon to the NBA.
Do it.
Look, I have your
Do
next.
they still
I have
pin
your
letters?
next commissioner.
Do they
right
still
here.
pin letters?
I don't know. Email, whatever.
Okay.
Well, I'll type something up.
Sure.
Bo Wilson, NBA commissioner.
Okay, let's move on.
How about that?
So you think the NBA's off target? I think they're on target.
Well, I think they're off target just because it makes no sense. If it's only 1 year, it's off target. It makes no sense.
That is off target.
Also, the manner in, like, instead of doing 7 and 10 and 8 and 9, winners go.
Right.
This convoluted, they're going to play, and then depending on here, then they're going to play. I mean, it's really.
So your suggestion would be to give the top 4 a bye.
If you're going to
perhaps that's the way you do it. The top 4 gets the bye, and then
maybe possible. I can see something like that. I just think if it's for 1 year, it's just stupid. It makes no sense. If this is something that they're going to expand on in the future, they might be on to something. I'm not trying to be waffling. I'm just saying if it's 1 year, which is what they say, to me, off target.
All right. So was Matt Ryan's comments yesterday on target or off target? He said he had some good years left. Look, I think Ryan's got 1 or 2 good years left. And what he should be doing with those 1 or 2 years was grooming the next Falcons franchise quarterback. Right.
But that's not going to happen.
No.
I don't think A.J. McCarron is the next franchise quarterback.
Yeah.
I mean, he's an Alabama guy, but still, I don't see that. So if he's only got 1 or 2 good years, I still say, what's the plan? So obviously you would rather him come out and say, yeah, I got some good years to go. I just signed a big contract. I'm done. And we didn't draft a quarterback.
So
enjoy the season, everyone.
Here's the issue with Matt Ryan.
Okay.
So he completed 65% of his passes for 4,581 yards, 26 touchdowns, and 11 interceptions.
But the 4,000 yards combined only traveled about 600 feet in the air.
He has thrown for over 4,000 yards and 20 or more touchdowns in each of the past 10 seasons and has completed 65% or more of his throws every year since 2012.
Okay, how many division titles and how many Super Bowls? Ooh, I had to do it. I just had to do it. I like Matt Ryan, but I said, 7, 8 years ago they should have traded him for the number 1 pick for any of these franchise quarterbacks that have come along, like Patrick Mahomes, who you love. Just to name one, they could have traded him at any time for a number 1 pick, an established quarterback in the league, 4,000, 20 TDs every year. The Chiefs probably would have taken that.
Yeah.
And then Falcons would have had Pat Mahomes, and they'd have their franchise quarterback.
Right, because Pat Mahomes went, 11th that year?
Something like that. So
Falcons picked
Matt Ryan is Matt Ryan is not the future of the Falcons.
Okay, so
he's off target.
Here's the comment I want you to be on target, off target.
Okay.
Ryan doesn't believe his window is limited, though, pointing to Tampa Bay quarterback Tom Brady and his continued strong play. But he understands where he is in the timeline of his career, that, once again, he has to prove himself with a new coaching staff, this time led by former Titans offensive coordinator Arthur Smith. This story on ESPN.com.
Right. That's like Dale Murphy going, well, look, Babe Ruth played for a while, so can I. He was no Babe Ruth. And Matt Ryan is no Tom Brady.
So the comparison
I don't
Tom
get it.
Brady and Matt Ryan, that's way off target.
Way. I mean, again, he just killed an innocent bystander 3 miles away. I mean, like, way off target. Because he hasn't won a Super Bowl. He coughed up, and I'm not putting it all on Matt Ryan on a 28-3, but he could have audibled any time during the second half.
You got to go back there.
Any time during the second half and save that game. And he chose not to do that.
That's right.
And Tom Brady would have. He probably was doing it, and that's why they came back and won the game. So, Matt Ryan comparing himself to Tom Brady, way off target.
I think he's way off target.
Way off target.
I also think nothing about that other than his stats are on target. And, the fact that, yes, we've said it 1,000 times before, Matt Ryan can be a great quarterback if he has protection, much like any other quarterback.
Sure.
Professional quarterback. Well, I don't know like any other, but a few more.
Maybe.
And the Falcons do need to put a emphasis and a focus on getting protection up front. Now since they're sticking with Matt Ryan at quarterback, he needs protection. He can't run. He needs protection.
He does. And I'm not sure that I see the Falcons with some of the things that they've done. I'm not seeing that line coming together yet. I mean, there's still time for free agency and other stuff like that. You can always sign players, and you never know who's going to maybe come through during, the summer workouts. Like, we got a guy. But offensive line's the hardest position to it takes more development there than probably any other position on the field. And, I just don't see the Falcons having a lot of that. He may throw for 4,000 yards, but he's going to get hurt. I just don't think Matt Ryan's the future.
Is the strikeout killing baseball?
Absolutely.
No. And there's Jeff Hart.
Absolutely.
So that is an on-target story on ESPN today.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There was another story that you can almost companion with this that was a few weeks back. Is the sacrifice bunt dead in the MLB? Because there were several current managers going, I don't like giving an out. I would rather my guys go up there and try to get a hit. A strikeout is just an out. Okay, that's true. But we made this comparison in the office. The guy walks, you'll second, you bunt him to third, you sacrifice him, fly in, or you hit a ground ball to second and you score a run. You do that every inning, you're 9. You scored 9 in 9 innings, and you're going to win the game. Probably maybe with 1 or 2 hits maybe scattered in here or there. The sacrifice bunt is an integral part, moving runners over. When you strike out as many times as some of these guys are striking out, you're wasting scoring opportunities. Then they have to go to, say, arbitration and go, well, I should have driven him more. Yeah, but you struck out 175 times. There used to be in baseball, when a guy struck out 100 times in a season, teams were looking to move those dudes. Nowadays, they're like, oh, he only struck out 111 times this year. Only 111 times. I mean,
So does that make it easier to pitch a no-hitter?
absolutely.
Does it make it easier to pitch a perfect game?
Perfect game is tough because you still got to not walk somebody.
Yep.
There's errors. I mean, perfect game is that's on another level. But no hitters, yeah, I don't think so. But I think it's much easier now because guys are coming up there swinging for the fences. They're always talking about this launch angle. How about just a single over the second baseman's head when a dude's at second base? I don't care about your launch angle. Can you drive the guy in? That's what I care about if I'm watching baseball.
Or just put it in play?
Put it in play. So when you have, I mean, there are some people that were approaching 200 strikeouts. 200. If you get 600 at bats, that means you're striking out a third of the time.
Reggie Jackson, who struck out more times in history than anyone, said it's embarrassing.
It is embarrassing.
Nolan Ryan said it's worrisome.
Nolan Ryan's like, I can still pitch.
Who struck out more batters than any pitcher in history.
I don't know, what is he, like 107? He could probably throw a no-hitter today.
Yeah.
He probably still could throw it in the 80s. Probably. I mean, that guy was a freak. And, I mean, it's not good for the game.
Well, here's what's not good for the game. The game is already long. The game can get a little boring. You've got 9 innings of baseball. What are you doing to keep the attention of those people who like baseball but can't sit through the whole game?
Look, to me, now I love baseball. I don't think you need to change anything.
Spoken like a true football fanatic.
There you go. I agree. That's on target. That is on target.
Look, I'm just saying,
I don't think there's anything wrong with the game as it's designed. I think it's the perfect game for me, personally. I mean, there's a lot of strategy on every pitch. But when you're taking out stolen bases,
apparently there's no strategy in pitching anymore. It's
well,
just
there's no
strikes.
strategy because
everybody's going to strike out.
Well, yeah, nobody steals bases. Nobody wants to bunt anybody over. They're upset when they have a ground ball, the second base that moves the guy over to third.
See, I would find that more interesting if it was the small ball.
Absolutely, I think small ball is fantastic. We're going to talk about the North Hall baseball team coming up.
Right.
That's what they do. They actually hit 2 home runs in against Ringgold. They only hit 1 all season. They hit 2 the other day, but they've been playing small ball. Seth, how many times have we gone? It's like they steal bases, they move guys over, and they'll single you to death. They might pop one to the wall every now and then, but they play small ball.
Yeah,
exactly
it's not one of those.
designed.
It's definitely not. They're definitely not one of those teams where you come out and you see them swinging for the fences each time.
No.
You see them trying to knock the ball out of the park. You see them each individually trying to do their job.
And they're playing for
runners
a state title.
Runners at first, you get him to second.
That's
Runner
right.
at third, you get him back to the plate.
The teams that can pitch and play defense and do the little things are the ones that are in the state championships right now in baseball. And how many times have we listened to Coach Flo say during the season, I'm trying to get these guys to realize this isn't a home run hitting team. We're a small ball team. And when they finally started to embrace that, they have taken off.
Opened it up.
Small ball, and they're pounding people. And when I say, they're beating people by 6, 7, 8 runs. With small ball.
Mm-hmm.
I did home runs, score runs. And so I would love to see that coming back into the major leagues. But they have a generation of kids that have been brought up on this sabermetric stuff, launch angles, and how many foul balls do they get with 2 strikes? And the to me, stats that are just so mundane and stupid, it means nothing to me. Can the guy? All I want to know is, can a guy drive?
All
I
want to see is people hitting the ball.
Y'all remember my buddy Daniel that we had on one of our cutaways not too long ago? We need to get him in here and talk about baseball. Talk about Major League Baseball.
Okay.
He would love that, and I'm sure he would have a incredible conversation with you guys.
Yes, strikeout killing baseball.
You
Without
agree
a
with that?
doubt. Without a doubt.
I agree with it as well.
Without a doubt.
Okay. West Hall. Check that. North Hall.
North Hall
wins the state title.
I'm going to go on target because right now, as we just discussed with them, they're doing all the right things. They're getting great pitching. They'll make a mistake in the field, but then they turn it around with a double play in the next, or they threw like 4 or 5 runners out in that Hart County series, which really was probably a state semifinal series or a state final series. That was in the second round. They threw out 4 or 5 guys on the base pass. So defensively, they're playing well. They're pitching great, and they're playing small ball. They did hit 2 home runs against Ringgold, but they move people over in every game that I've gone to see. They'll get a walk, guy will steal second, they'll bunt him to third, a guy hits a ground ball, or there's an error by the other team, and that's the other thing with North Hall. Boy, you cannot make a mistake against them. They punish you. I mean, it's
going back to the Hart County series.
Ooh, 10
Hart had that game won, had the series won. Right?
Oh, they did.
Yeah,
had the series won, and 10 unearned runs on 8 errors.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's when you get that kind of when you take advantage of mistakes the way the North Hall does, you're going to win. And so I'm going to go with them. Now, is it going to be a sweep? Look, I haven't really predicted a sweep with them because they've had. I mean, Hart, Ringgold, and now Franklin County. North Hall's been ranked number 1, but those are probably the top 4 teams in 3A, and they've had to play the other 3. They've had to play the other 3.
That whole side of the bracket had most of the top 10 teams in it.
That is correct. And Franklin County, I think they only gave up like 1 run in the semifinal series. So this is going to be a great series, Hart and Franklin. It's probably going to be one of the best baseball series in the finals. And there's some great ones, but this is going to be a good one.
The real question, Jeff.
Oh,
yes.
The real question is, do you have your outfit?
I got my outfit. Now, as far as being in my spot, I mean, it's like North Hall texted me, "Hey, you coming to the game? You coming to the game?" I was like, "I'm not going to Ringgold." Boy, they blasted me.
For once, one of us is good luck.
It's like they were upset that I didn't go to Ringgold, but I couldn't get up there. But they didn't need me, and they swept. They probably did better without me.
Well, that's what I told you. I'm like, it's only at the Brickyard. Not the Brickyard, but Cottrell Field.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know where I'm going to be, but I'll look, I'll have my DUN stuff on, so I'll, it's out of my control. It's not that I take sides, but they're good people at North Hall. They treat us right. They've had a great run.
They have.
And look, we want all of our local teams. It'd be great for them to finish this off, just like we do when basketball or football. You cover them. You kind of get to know the people involved. You want them to be able to finish it. And so hopefully they can finish this against Franklin. It's going to be a great series.
6 p.m. doubleheader start time. Coolray Field.
Saturday.
It's
supposed to be really nice at Coolray.
Coolray Field.
I don't see them going deep in Coolray. Now, I could be wrong, but if they can't hit it out at Cottrell Field, I'm not sure they're going to poke one out at Coolray. But
if they hit one to the wall,
they're going to be running for a while. There's a lot of open room out there. So.
All right. Well, I agree. You're on target with your assessment. North Hall, I'm going to roll with the Trojans.
Yeah, I think they can win this. They're just playing too well right now. It's going to take a fantastic effort to beat them.
Well, as much as you are on target with a lot of things you said today, Jeff, I would love to see how on target you are with this week's From the Heart.
Inconsistency. That's the real thing here. Policies, as far as we're out covering these things. I was told for a year, follow the science, what the CDC says. Well, the CDC has come out and said, hey, we don't need mask outdoors. We don't need mask if you're vaccinated. We don't need all these things. So why hasn't the GHSA solidified some policies around the state? Why haven't some of the school systems solidified some of these things around the state and been consistent all along? Went to 2 different venues on 2 different nights in the same county. One, no mask, 1,500 people there. No problem. Go to the other one. They're taking temperature checks or forcing everybody to mask. Couldn't get into the press box. Where's the consistency? I mean, there's just none. Okay? Are these people really following the science? They told us to follow the science. Be consistent. Follow the science. To me, not following the science. Again, different regulations. I just think it's time to set consistent policy. I think the world is moving on. They're saying you don't need masks, you don't need all these other things. So it is really time. You can't interrupt me with this. I didn't interrupt you with your rant last week. It's time to throw away the mask, people. Let's get back to normal. Full stadiums, full gyms, no testing for COVID. How many games have we lost for contact tracing? And it doesn't seem to be consistent from one place to another. We don't test for the flu. We don't test for other viruses, other illnesses. It's time to stop the COVID testing. Get rid of the mask. Let's go back to full stadiums, full gyms, get back to sports the way that we know it. That is From the Heart.
I think you were on target somewhat.
Somewhat.
Yeah.
I am never wrong. I am never.
They do test for the flu, though.
Not before sporting events.
Well, no, but I'm just
Okay,
saying,
that's what I'm
they do
talking
test.
about.
I just wanted a small correction.
So, but when was the last time that you went to a sporting event? It's like, I'm sorry, we've tested for the flu and you can't play.
Can you please take this Q-tip up your nose?
It's like,
Yeah.
I am always right.
Please
Just
stick
remember
this
that.
all the way through your nasal canal into your brain, please.
Yes, thank you.
Let me tell you, it's like, when I had my surgery, they tested me 3 times in 2 days. It was me and the same group of people. I'm like, did y'all get COVID? And they were like, no. And I was like, why are you testing me again?
I think we're
And
kind of moving.
They shoved this thing away. I mean, like, I think they touched the back of my skull.
Yeah, I know.
Ugh.
Same way with the flu test.
Awful.
But, good job from the heart.
Well, just, it just, I got a little riled up last week, as you know.
Yes, you did.
Because, again,
But that doesn't take much.
I know, no, it doesn't. But, it just didn't make any sense. It didn't make any sense. I mean, common sense.
Well, the common sense in that situation that you're talking about are the rules of individual schools. I mean, that should come down from the Board of Education. Look, you don't need a mask. Go with it.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
So, All right, so from the heart this week, good one on that. Rolling down to high school sports. And again, throwing in Benji Wood going to Buford in a big way. We talked a little bit at the top of the show with that, but he's going to take over his alma mater for the boys program, and that should be an interesting move for Benji.
Look, another example of how old I am. I covered him when you played at Buford.
Yes, you're old.
I am. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
That's on target, by the way.
Yes, it is on target.
Sorry.
Yep.
So I covered Benji when he played at Buford.
Yeah.
I didn't know that at the time, but a few years back we were talking about a situation that had developed in the game, and he goes, "Yeah, I was on that team." I was like, "What?" So he goes, "Yeah." So I was like, "Oh my gosh!" It's like, wow. I didn't actually realize he was on the team that I was talking about when they had played Athens Academy, 1990.
Yeah.
I think that was the year he graduated. So it was. It's always great to be able to come home.
Mm-hmm.
We got a story that's going to post a little bit later today. A little bit about that. He kind of resigned himself to the fact that, he thought his chance to coach at Buford had passed. So it's really cool to see a guy, anybody.
Stars kind of aligned this time.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
To come back and coach your alma mater, which is something, I've talked to him over the years. I said, you think whoever.
Would you stop hitting that thing?
It's in the way.
You don't hit it often?
Yeah, but see, his microphone can be set up real easy, but mine doesn't.
Or you could just be more careful.
I talk with my hands, man.
Anyway.
So it's really cool. We're
Almost
gonna have
just
a
went,
story
"Then
coming
stop
out. So
talking."
I think it's an on-target move for Buford.
The boys were close. Buford boys were close last year. Most coming back, so
Yeah, I mean
the cupboard is not empty.
Look, they finished third in a
know.
tough region. It turned out to be a very difficult basketball region. We just really didn't know how good that basketball region was going to be, and they finished third. They got knocked out in the second round.
Let's face it, Buford, they lost a lot of talent too.
They did. Now, they won titles in 2017 and 2019 with Eddie Martin, who, if he's not in the coaching Hall of Fame, he's not in the coaching Hall of Fame, he will be.
Yeah.
He's won like 800 and something games.
No doubt.
I mean, so, and I talked to Coach Martin over the years, and he said, I'll do this as long as I feel like, we can stay competitive and the juices are flowing. So, when a guy like that says, it's time to move on, you kind of figure he's probably, look, he's earned the right to kind of retire and just do whatever he wants.
Yes.
And so it's good for Benji, to be able to go back. What's going to be the interesting thing is, what's going to happen at Cherokee Bluff.
Mm-hmm. The search is on.
He built it from scratch.
you love using that.
I do.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Somebody, didn't they criticize us for that? Yeah, he built it from scratch. Yeah, he built that from scratch. He was the first coach there, built the program, and was very, competing for region titles by his third year. And it's hard to argue with that success. And so.
Well, good luck to Benji as he heads on down to Buford, and good thing he's staying in the coverage area as well. So, Region Golf State Championships crowned yesterday. White County girls winning region, whatever they call that in golf.
They won Class 3A.
They won Class 3A, that's right.
White County.
Michaela Dubnick
from
North Hall, winning the individual low medalist. And Seth, he was trekking around up at Apple Mountain yesterday.
Got the sunburn to prove it.
Really? It was a great day,
You got the what?
The sunburn to prove it.
Oh, Lordy.
Which I didn't think it would happen. It was very cloudy at the beginning of the day, and then I was unfortunately mistaken that it would stay that way.
That's unfortunate.
Yes, it is.
That's
and
unfortunate because you still get sunburn with cloudy skies.
Yeah.
It's disappointing.
It is.
You didn't take a
Yeah.
hat.
I did take a hat.
It's
I just wear it
disappointing.
backwards so
It's
my face is
disappointing
not protected.
that you didn't follow the science.
Is it weird science?
All right, so at least you were on the golf course yesterday. A nice day, not hot.
No, not too bad hot at all,
yeah.
actually.
That's great golf weather.
So what'd you pull out of there for us?
I got some interviews, got some photos on the story. Gonna hopefully crank out some more photos later this week when I get some time to edit. But here we go. We got some interviews with Michaela and the winning White County Lady
Warrior.
Thank you.
Coach.
No, actually the kids this time.
Oh.
Coach was very clear that he did not wish to be on camera. But
shy.
he did give us a great interview that you've got bits of from in your story.
I did.
And we're going to go to those interviews that I got now.
Senior year, you get one, you're going out on top. How does that feel?
Oh, it feels great. I've had goals ever since I've moved here from Alabama to win one in Alabama, which I did my freshman year, and then win one out here in Georgia. It feels great to come out and be on top on this one for my senior year.
Talk to me about this team. They came in second, lost White County, but came close second. Talk to me about this team.
This team's been everything to me. I've loved them so much. They've been my family for 3 years now. They welcomed me with open arms, and I've been forever grateful for this team, for the coaches, and that have put a lot of effort and time into us. So I'm forever grateful.
And 2 North Georgia teams here in the top of the state golf tournament. Talk to me about how cool that is.
It's good. It's good. White County's really good, and congratulations to them and all of that, and congrats to Katie on her runner-up finish individually. They're a great team, and they came out and put up the scores they needed to wrap up the year.
We know you're leaving. Talk to me about the younger class that's coming up behind you. Talk to me about those girls.
They have a lot of potential. They've got a lot of successful years ahead of them. They're going to be great, and I know they can do great. Little time, little effort, and they will do just fine. And I hopefully in the years to come they'll be individual championships and team champions too.
And lastly, it was pretty close between you and the runner-up. 5, if I'm correct, right? Was 5
Yes.
strokes?
Yes, I think so.
5 strokes. Talk to me about how close that was, and how was that a little nerve-wracking for you? Or?
It was a little nerve-wracking. I knew, I think it was like hole 6 or 7. I started feeling a little antsy, a little weird, and just focused on my breathing and my steps and stuff, and try not to focus on how close it was and all of that. So my breathing and my concentration and all of that helped me today to help me come out.
All right. One last time. State champion. How does that feel?
It feels great.
I think it's pretty amazing. We've all been working for it for the past 4 years since we've been playing together. Well, I came in 2 years ago, but it is a great opportunity to just even be at state rather than, or like, let alone winning it. We're just super blessed.
And it's our first win ever as a team in White County history, so we're making history.
Yeah, it's been good. It's been a hard year, but we've been so successful this year, and so it's really nice to come out with a win our senior year. So we're all happy about it.
Yeah.
And you're talking about this year. What a crazy year, 2 years it's even been. Talk to me about how important this is to win with this group of people, to win with each other.
Yeah, it was just really frustrating with COVID last year. We had high hopes. So coming out and being able to get back on the course and stuff like that after COVID was really fun to be able to have this group of girls back out again. So.
And us all being seniors, it's so cool. We can just all win as one group of class, and then we're all going to leave to college. So we're not going to miss each other. We're going to see each other in the future, too.
Oh, I think we're all pretty close, and we all like to have a good time and talk, just make jokes and stuff, especially while we're playing. We make it fun. So I think today we just came out here and had a good time and do what we love.
And I was talking to Coach earlier, it's a little bit of a rivalry, North Hall and White County, but still 2 North Georgia teams coming in, in the top 2. How cool is that?
I think it's such a great representation of North Georgia. Atlanta's always the big golf hub, but now North Georgia's making their scene, and I'm happy for everyone in North Hall, and then they're happy for us, so we're still get along.
Yeah. I think we're all close, North Hall and White County.
Yeah.
We love each of the people we play with, I think.
But we're super competitive though. Like we always like to win against.
Yeah.
There's always like a big competitiveness between everybody in North Hall.
Showing off that rival, North Hall, White County.
Oh man, I tell you that was really cool to see that. And you gotta look. Congratulations to White County. That was a really solid team. And last year, if I remember, that was a group. I think that they They were a team that was expected to challenge. North Hall was a team expected to challenge. North Hall finished second in 2019. Michaela finished second in 2019 individually. So I think this was kind of, it's been brewing for the last couple of years that it might come down to these two for a state title. And to have it in our backyard was really neat.
And imagine if the 2020 championships would have happened.
Oh yeah.
That would have been interesting.
Oh yeah, somebody would have been looking for some payback. So it's but I think I think that they said it there real well at the end. It's Atlanta's kind of a lot of people think Atlanta area kind of dominates golf, and I would argue that you can look down into the Augusta, Columbus, and Savannah area and Jekyll Island and down there Brunswick. Boy, there's a lot of good golf all over the state. So it is really difficult to win the golf championship. I don't care what classification you're looking at. So congratulations to them and North Hall.
Tip of the hat.
And we had several other teams. Some boys teams. Gainesville, first time in 7-4A, finished fourth, and they were, they kind of slipped on the second day. They had a shot to finish as runner up. I don't know that anybody was going to be Milton. Boy, they were putting up some 6 scores there.
Speaking of those Atlanta teams.
Yeah, there you go.
Area,
and so, but
metro team.
But Gainesville is a program that typically challenges.
Right.
And so to go into 7A their first time, they finished fourth. I think they should, that's a lot to build on right there. They should be very happy about that.
Full results are up on accesswdevon.com.
Yes, they are.
You can look at them, read them, and enjoy the comments
on
the site.
Bo took a powder.
A powder?
Yeah, you laid down one of your directives.
I'm just glad you listened to me.
Yeah, you just laid down one of your directives. Here's how it went, Seth. Jeff, you get the golf.
Yeah.
That's it. That's pretty much what it was.
I think you're forgetting the second part of that order.
And that is, Seth.
Seth, go get the golf, too.
Seth, get the shots.
What did you do?
Directed you.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's why they pay him the big bucks, folks.
All right, North Hall baseball coming up Saturday, Coolray Field, 6 p.m. Doubleheader for all the marbles in Class 3A.
Should be a great series. Everybody should come out.
And that's a wrap for the show today, folks. Don't forget to check us out on socials. Jeff's at Heart JJ22. I'm at the Bo Wilson. Seth, he is on Instagram at Seth_/ greater than less than sign cinnamonphotography.com.
No, it's just not.
Bo, I think you were off target again. Just a little bit.
Keyword search for the sports on Instagram and Facebook. Access WD Sports.
Poor Seth. No one goes to his Instagram because by now they're completely...
Nobody knows what it is.
They're like Seth _ greater than less than sign.
It's okay. I manage the Access
Seth.
one, so it's okay.
Okay.
The Access Instagram is like 70 to 90% me, so it's okay.
It would not. What's the word I'm looking for here?
Uh-oh.
It just
Wait for it.
It just left me. It just left me.
What happened there, Bo?
It just went.
You just kept saying it would not, and then
it would not exist.
There we go.
Without Seth's photos. Let's put it that way in videos.
It exists, but it might not be that great.
Well, it would exist, but it wouldn't be great. So,
thank you, Seth.
You're very welcome.
Thank you, Seth. And Seth will have video and we'll have photos from the state championship
somewhere
game.
on Instagram.
Somewhere on Instagram and on the website.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And on YouTube.
Everywhere.
Wow.
Yeah. So, for Seth, Jeff, I'm Bo. Enjoy the rest of your week, everyone.